I just woke up and I decided that I wanted to do a video, so I have no clue where this is going. I'm just gonna do my makeup. So I'm gonna use this Smashbox pore minimizing primer, and I'm just gonna put that in my T-zone. Oh, my eyebrow. Next, I go in with eye primer, and I just use the Hard Candy eye primer. Next, I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'm going to use this Clinique eyeshadow. It's in the shade Sable. First, I brush out my eyebrows with a spoolie, and I just brush through them. I've been using this because whenever I use that pomade that I usually use, it just makes my eyebrows look so heavy. And I mean, I do like my eyebrows heavy, so I kind of like do that on purpose, but... So I start with the tail first, and I kind of just draw a line down the center of the eyebrow, and then I kind of shape out the edges. And I kind of change the shape of my eyebrow. I just make it more rounded right here, and I make them way more full. For the front part, I just place it right under the lines of the hairs in the front, and I just do like soft lines, and I just create a really straight line under the front of my eyebrow, and then I drag it to like join it with the rest. So now I just keep going like back over it, and then for the rest of the front of the brow, I just take what's left and I flick up, starting at the line I drew, and I just flick all the way up, and then I turn my brush straight up and down, and I start at the very tip and I push to the side. Okay, now both my eyebrows are done, so I'm just gonna take this little elf brush. This is what the tip of it looks like. It's just a really dense end, and I'm gonna take my Tarte Tape Shape, and I just get a little bit, and then I just literally take that like clump of concealer that's on the end of this, and I just like don't get too close to your eyebrow, start kind of low, and I just start swiping it over like that and spread it out all under your eyebrow. I just go in motions like this, back and forth, and you start getting closer to your eyebrow. Okay, now both eyebrows are carved out and they're how I like them, and so I'm just gonna take this, it's one of those little face brushes, it's not the expensive kind, it's the cheap kind. I just take it and I just literally just rub the concealer that's under my eyebrows. Y'all, my face is peeling so bad because I just got back from the beach and I got really sunburnt because I'm on Accutane. My skin's peeling and it's kind of gross. This makeup's gonna look super smooth. I use the Dermical foundation. It's like $13. You can order it on the internet. It's super full coverage. I literally use like this much. Then I just use my Real Technique sponge to blend out my foundation, and I just go in bouncing motions all over my face. After foundation, I go into concealer and I use the Tarte Tape Shape, and I just put a triangle kind of thing under my eye. I kind of use a lot. It is what it is. You just put this all over the areas that you want highlighted. And so I put some on my chin, down the bridge of my nose. I do whatever that little thing is on my forehead, and little dots right here. Then I take my Real Technique sponge and I just pat this until it's blended. And I go over my eyelid just to set a base for the eyeshadow. Now that all my concealer is blended out, I'm going to go in with this little sponge that I got like from the dollar store. Really not that important because I dip it in my Airspun loose powder. And yeah, it gets pretty gross, so I just take the biggest end and dip it in there. And then I go underneath my eyes and I just pat it in there. I guess you could call this baking, but not really because I don't leave that much on the surface. I pretty much like push the powder all the way in and I leave just like a little bit on the top. I do that on my chin, on my nose, and on the center of my forehead. Then I go back and I pat this out on my nose really good because I don't want it to get shiny. And then I do take a little bit and put it right here where my laugh lines are. Then I take like this big kabuki brush and I swirl it all over the rest of my face. Next, we're gonna do eyeshadow, and I literally have no plan for this. I'll honestly probably take this makeup off right after this video, so I don't want to do anything too extravagant. I'm just gonna take this really big fluffy brush, and I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. It's got all these matte shades. I'm gonna just dip this big fluffy brush in this like yellowy banana color right there, and just like brush that all over my eyelid just to make sure all that's even and it doesn't get patchy. Next, I'm just gonna take this Morphe brush. It's just a fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna dip it in this color Faith, and I'm just going to go right in the crease of my eye at first on the outer edge and just go in circling motions, and then start to bring that up a little bit towards my eyebrow and then bring it over. So I'm just going in really light circling motions, but focusing mainly on the outer edge and just blending it over. Now I'm gonna take this, I have no clue what brand it is, it's just some random blending brush I have, but it's more of like a dome shape at the top so I can get more specific areas. I'm gonna dip it in this color called Extra Bitter, and I'm gonna focus this like on the outer V of my eye, so pretty much like on the corner of my eyelid and barely in the crease. And I'm just doing circling motions again. Now I'm going to take my Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm gonna go in with this shader brush and dip it in this really yellowy gold color. I'm just gonna put that on my lid. I'm gonna go from the inner corner to the middle and just pat this on. I'm gonna take just this really skinny Estee Lauder brush. I don't really know. These are old brushes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna dip it in this champagne color right here. And then I'm going to put this on my inner corner. And then I'm just gonna take this little angled brush right here and dip it in the same color and put that on my brow bone. Now I'm just going to take this same dome blending brush and I'm going to dip it in this color right here, and I'm just going to run this along my lower lash line. Now I'm going to take this big kabuki brush and just wipe it all over my face and get all that extra powder that I put on off. I'm going to take this Morphe angled contour brush and I'm going to take this butter bronzer. It's completely matte. I also bring it around the edges of my forehead just to make it look smaller and make me look more tan, you know. I bring it down my neck and along my jawline, down the sides of my nose. I just brush it there a little bit. Next, I just take this fluffy brush and I use a bunch of bronzers. We've been over this. It's broken. Well, that's disappointing. Next, I use this Milani Baked Bronzer, and then I go over where I did my contour, but I blend it up like higher, like onto my cheeks. And then I really go in with this on my forehead because I love to be bronzy. It's my favorite thing. And the last bronzer I'm gonna go in with is this Rimmel bronzer. It's called Natural Bronzer. I'm gonna do the same thing that I already did. And to sharpen up that bronzer and contour I just did, I'm gonna take this same brush, and sponge, but I'm gonna use the pointy end and dip it in this powder and just drag it and draw a straight line where you want your contour to end. So we're just gonna let this sit for a minute while we do the rest of our cheeks. For highlight, I use this Morphe fan brush, and I use the Wet n Wild highlighting powder in the shade Precious Petals. This is so pretty. I'm so excited. I also bring it up like from where it starts down here around my temples, and then I kind of just go around my eyebrow. I put a little bit in the center of my forehead, and then the tip of my nose, and I bring it up a little bit on the bridge, and then my cupid's bow, and my chin. Then for blush, I just use this little angled brush. Today I'm going to use this Milani Baked Blush. It's in the shade 2, because I don't know how to say that word. And then I just start at the back of my cheeks and move to the front. Then I go back in with highlighter, and I use my Becca highlighter in the shade Moonstone. And I just take this same brush, and then I go over where I put the first highlighter, but I just like my highlight to be really intense, so I put it on, blend it out with blush, and then go back over it. I'm just extra. Now I'm going to take this big kabuki brush and just wipe away what I put under my cheeks. Okay, now I'm going to show y'all a little trick that doesn't really involve makeup. It involves this. This is the Aussie Sprunch hairspray stuff. I use whatever hairspray. This is just the one I stole from my mom. And I take my spoolie and I spray it on my spoolie like that. And then I just brush through my eyebrows. And this sets them in place. Next is mascara. I'm gonna try to video this. We'll see how it works. I'm gonna use this Lash Sensational mascara. It's by Maybelline. And I don't do anything special. Like, I don't curl them or anything. I just start putting mascara on. And it's always a different mascara. It's whatever I feel like. Or whatever I'm not out of. Okay, so that's mascara. It's done. Because I have been on Accutane, my lips have been super, super dry, so I haven't been wearing much liquid lipstick. I've been wearing lip gloss or just Carmex, really. And so I guess just to be a little extra for this, I'm gonna wear this Stila lip gloss. It's in the shade Harmony. So yeah, we're just gonna put this on. So this is the lip gloss. It's just really nudish pink. It's really pretty. And then the last step is setting spray, of course. So I'm just gonna take my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And dang, I feel cute. Wow, the power of makeup. Okay, this is the finished look, and I'm just gonna throw out there that I dyed my hair. I dyed it and I chopped it off a little more, so I just wanted to let everybody know that since my last video I did that.